Hi, here's Kaveh Behizedeh and we are real desert dogs, okay?
Good morning, fellow desert dogs, jackals, and puppies, and coyotes. We're over here on Highway 395 again in our attempts to make it to Kearsarge Pass. Now, essentially, we're kind of acting like dogs out of the desert, so to speak, because we're technically not going to be in the desert. We're going to be in alpine, subalpine type environment, that type of ecosystem, pine forests. Unlike the desert, there's going to be a lot of water out there. Do some fishing, hang out in the forest, look at some birds, maybe look at some stream bugs, what other wildlife that's out there. Hopefully we don't come in contact with any large mammals such as bears and mountain lions, although that would be cool too. But to be honest, we're not really prepared for that as well.
Visiting the Sierras is a lot different than visiting the Inuits or the Panamints. We actually had to get a permit.
We're approaching the Bishop Ranger Station right now.
Oh, yeah. Because this is such a popular mountain range to hike and backpack. So, we made our way up to Bishop to get the permit.
Emergency supplies.
Looking for a permit request for Kearsarge.
Kearsarge?
Okay.
You don't want to take
For
any
how many?
chances. Anything
For
that
3,
might have
but we
odor,
called earlier
put it in there, get it 100 feet away.
Yeah,
Any good way to get them?
do you gentlemen have bear canisters?
Still, no, there's only about
no,
3
we don't
spots
have
left for
No,
today.
you'll
There
definitely
could
need them
be
for this
people there
trail.
from yesterday and the day before.
I can rent them to you. They're
Yeah, we'll take
$2.50 a piece.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
for each
Probably
day.
around the lower
Yeah.
level.
Okay, all right, good
So,
deal.
you may want to go up a little higher just to get away from
Once you rent the canisters, you want to make sure you get all of your scented items in there. And you also want to make sure you get it out of your vehicle. There are food lockers at the Trailhead. Make good use of them, like right down to a bubble gum wrapper. You don't want to leave anything scented in there. Those bears are just looking for an excuse to break into your vehicle. So please pack out your trash, including food scraps and toilet
Say
paper.
something. What do you want?
Bury human waste 6 to 8 inches in soil, at least 100 feet away from water, trail, and obvious camping sites. Are you all planning on doing any fishing?
Yes.
Yes.
Are
Okay.
you coming through Bishop?
You're going to be hard pressed to get this to apply to you.
Can't
But
tell you
below
anything on,
9,000
I can't
feet,
tell you anything on the phone.
it's
Our communication is
Barbless
really
hooks
poor
catch
right
and
now.
release.
I can't hardly hear you.
Based on your trip
okay.
description,
Come by
I
Bishop
don't think you're ever going to get there.
Okay.
On Line Street.
How about campfires? Interested in those?
We've got lots
Not
of
so
maps.
much.
Not so much. Okay, we can skip that.
Oh, I will also need. Do you guys have Forest Adventure passes?
No, we don't. Our forest doesn't do adventure
Okay,
pass.
that's kind
Oh, okay, I got
So
you.
you don't have to have anything on your vehicle. There would be any fees for parking.
Okay, there's
Pretty
another
simple.
pharmacy.
It's different everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So.
On your way, after you turn right on
Adventure
Line
pass is
Street,
pretty
you're
about to
headed
take
out.
people
It'll
off
be on your
that
way.
forest.
What is the bear
Cheaper in
canister?
Yosemite,
Places if you
just
wanted
in
for
case
day
any of
hiking.
your viewers care.
Okay.
I'll give you a.
So there's 3 things that you really need to know about the bear canister agreement. There's a $5 cleaning fee if you return the canisters dirty. That's if there's anything gooey in there, any really strong smells. Basically, if you make me march out to the spigot to clean it, then it's on. There's a $5 per day late fee if you return the canisters later than the 26th. And there's an $85 charge if you don't return our canisters at all. Okay, any questions for me? Nope.
You can do it too.
Got a permit. Canister. And we gonna get on.
So how's this process compared to Iran?
Oh, it's a lot of paperwork.
The Sierra Nevada mountain range has a lot of rules and regulations in order to prevent people from essentially messing up the place and screwing up everything out there, which, you know, as naturalists, we highly respect that. However, we're not really used to dealing with all these rules, because you know, we got into the desert and nobody really gives a damn about the desert, if you think about it, which I think they should, but that's a whole nother story in itself. We are on Onion Valley Road, looking at all the beautiful lowland scenery. On our way to Onion Valley, where we're gonna park our car. That's at 9,000 feet. It's gonna be desert dogs out of the desert in the forest, playing around and causing whatever ruckus we can cause, basically.
We're about to start. This is the Trailhead. Right now we're parked over at Onion Valley Campground, and we've got to have about 4.5 miles down this trail through the wilderness. A little bit of fishing. It's gonna be some good times.
Look how many people there are here. It's another thing that desert dogs aren't used to. People. Let's talk a little bit about biology and put a little ecology into this episode. So right now, we just hiked maybe about less than a quarter mile from the parking lot here at Onion Valley. Onion Valley is at 9,000 feet elevation. And if you see it on the footage of us driving on the way up, I was filming a lot of the plants outside of the car. And you notice that a lot of them are really shrubby and short. Now that has to do with the elevation and us being on the leeward side of the Sierra Nevada mountain range. The leeward side of the range means the side of the mountain range that doesn't get that much rain. Now, being at an elevation of 9,000 feet, as you can see, we got a few more bigger trees, and they're much more prominent out here. We're in the alpine level, or subalpine level, and as we get higher, you'll see the vegetation change even more. Alright, on the trail again. Just probably walked a little bit more than a quarter mile, and we got to this signpost here that's pointing us to where we gotta go, which is Kearsarge Pass, and happened to stumble upon a lizard right here. Now, I probably talked about this lizard before in earlier episodes. This is Scoloporus occidentalis, western fence lizard. But what's cool about this little individual is the pattern on its back. See, it's got a little bit of a different pattern. And this is a perfect example of how a single species, or what is at least known as a single species, spread out across an entire massive expanse of land, or expansive territory, and being present on mountains and valleys and even in deserts and stuff like that, to where you see high noticeability of genetic variation within these populations. Now, the western fence lizards that we got living near the coast and in the desert don't quite look like this, but they are the same species. Out in the city, a lot of people like to call them bluebellies, and this one has the blue belly. And you know it's a Scoloporus because of these little pores behind its back leg. Cool little lizard. Cool little subspecies. Probably not recognized, but a little subspecies of Scoloporus occidentalis here in the Sierra Nevada.
What makes this episode stand out from other ones is that we're not looking for a historical site. We're looking for a site known only for its natural beauty. Therefore, we are not restricted in showing where exactly we are.
Forest dogs.
We have
Desert dogs looking at the forest dogs.
some species of Canis domesticus, not familiaris. Canis familiaris, right?
I think so.
Oh, they're just on their own little hike, huh? That's what we gotta do next time, man.
How the fuck do we get it?
I think you gotta rent them.
You rent them.
Really?
For like super expensive.
Sweet.
And if we run out of meat, we can just kill them. And
You are absolutely right. Yes. Try that. Yeah. And still that far from the parking lot. Look how many people are there. God damn, there's a lot of people who like nature. Llama down.
Llama down, yeah. Thank you. There you go. Aha! Now let's make another 50 feet of progress. Thank you.
The llama was silent?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, okay. So we've been hiking for quite a while now, and it's a good hike. It's not too bad. And on our way, we came across what I believe is to be the lower third of a deer. So, for all I know, it probably died of natural causes, and it was just later torn apart by scavengers.
Maybe ISIS was doing something here. This guy was not Muslim, so they tried to kill him.
You think it's fresh?
Yeah.
Still has soft meat on it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's like probably a day later.
And the flies are still on it, so like, yeah, there's still...
Should be a day.
Yeah, I don't smell too decay or anything like that. So.
No, you can probably eat it.
I wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm an entomologist, not a forensic entomologist. I wish I... Yeah.
That's funny. Where's the head? Huh.
That's the bear's favorite part. So we made it to one of the first checkpoints along this trail. This is Pothole Lake. Pretty nice spot. I used my binoculars and I saw a few trout down there. I don't think we're gonna stop and fish at this lake. I think we're gonna go head straight to Kearsarge Lake, just past Kearsarge Pass, and we're gonna go do some fishing over there. It's a nice spot though. It's no wonder people like to come out here. And you know, like, this is real beautiful, kind of natural scenery. Perfect for hipsters to get a kick out of, definitely. What you just saw right there is something known as a marmot. Now, marmots are members of the squirrel family, Sciuridae, and they're a high elevation mammal that lives in and around holes around these boulders and rocks. And they come out and they bask on these rocks during the nice, cool summer sun. They're quite a nuisance at lower elevations, especially when there's a lot of people around. I've heard that they'll dig into your backpack if you leave it outside. If you take a dump somewhere and you forget to bury it, they'll dig it up and run around through it or roll through it. And also I've heard parking lots that are at higher elevations, they'll even get into your engine and start chewing on your fuel lines and stuff like that. They're a pretty cool mammal that's native to the Sierra Nevada range. And they're cool to look at. Giant squirrel. Pretty cool. Resting. Andy, how you feeling, man?
I think I have a little bit of altitude sickness. Every few steps I'm just coming out of breath. And I feel a little bit nauseous. When you're in this state, you're supposed to take deep breaths, just to kind of, what do you say, flood your system with the oxygen, and then yeah, just slowly recover from there. But it's not fun.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good? Munching? What are you eating? Got some beef jerky. Some trail food right there. That wasn't a good sound to hear from you.
What's a yawn?
Oh, that was a yawn. I thought you were like,
No, that was a yawn.
So we'll get to the next lake, rest another 15 minutes. Go ahead. So we rested there for about 20 minutes. And about 5 minutes later, he made it that far. And then they just turned around and asked me what kind of drugs we have. I'm assuming pain-killing pills. And I don't think we have any. I don't know, I usually don't think of bringing stuff like that. But I don't know, I guess in this case, it'd be useful. Poor Andy. Hey, that's my cousin though.
Alright, here's my plan. Let me know if it's okay. This is similar to what we did for Richard on the way to Forgotten Pass. Except I think this time I start mumbling at this point because of the altitude sickness. But basically the plan that I was proposing was similar to the plan we did for our buddy Richard Elliott for Beverage. But this time, for me, or both you guys go up ahead. After we pass the last lake before the pass, called Heart Lake, I asked if one of them can go ahead of me while I slowly trudge along on the path, and then that person leave their pack at the top and come down and help me with my pack, because I really felt like I needed the help. And then when we get to the top, I'll take the pack and then go down from there.
Yeah, sounds good.
No problem.
I like that.
But for now, we're going to Heart Lake, and we're going to sit there for a little bit too.
Cool. So that's the next lake up, about 3/4 of a mile away.
Yep.
So.
Because I definitely need help.
Yeah. Now look towards your 3 o'clock or your 2 o'clock. See that giant rock over there? Yeah. Or within the vicinity. We'll be right here. Andy is going over to drop a deuce. Because we both believe that this will make him feel at least 50% better. He probably just needs to get it out, decompress. Alright. It's me, Marty, fellow desert dog. I made it to Kearsarge Pass. And everybody else is, a little less than, maybe about 1/8 of a mile behind me. I'm coming back to go help them out. It took quite a bit of convincing to get them to come up to the pass today. And they're going to be in for a treat. Hopefully they'll thank me for it. Yeah, I saw it too. I saw the deer. I got an okay picture of it. It ran up. There were like tracks in the road, and actually that's a deer track right there. So it went up and over the pass.
If you had the 22, you could shoot.
With the 22, have it die of infection. Anyway, so you actually did pretty good, Andy. Coming up here. I don't know if you want to just take it all the way.
Might as well.
It's just right there. Yeah, and then after that, it's just downhill from here.
Yeah.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly surprised?
Yeah.
Final steps to Kearsarge Pass. Whoa. Oh man, just a couple more seconds. We done it. We're here. We freaking made it. Oh wow, look at that. Holy shit, this is awesome. Hell yeah. We made it. We made it, Kaveh. We can't see it, but
Not quite.
oh, there you go.
So, like, how do you feel?
I am very relieved we have made it to the top of the pass.
I was so proud of him.
And
Yeah, we both are.
yeah, I was able to recover some time ago, so I was able to take my pack back. Thank you, by the way. You guys got me past that one hard spell right there.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end.
So you think it would have been worth it? I mean, like, was it worth it just like pushing through to this point?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. Told you.
My first thought as I peeked the mountain was that this valley was the land of the lost. I almost expected to see a brontosaurus peek its head from the trees below. Finally finished with the uphill battle, it was now time to walk the last mile or so down to the lakes, set up camp, and start fishing.
We are over here basically living life without a toilet, without shower, without anything like that. No luxury, okay? So we do everything the way our great grand ancestors did, okay?
Dude just caught one fish that was pretty decent. It's up here. And we're gonna have a barbecue later on with this fish and hopefully like 3-4 more. Good job.
After setting up camp, we were able to immediately start catching fish. All of the 30 or so fish we caught were brook trout. Marty caught about 22 fish. The rest were between Kaveh and I. Oh. Okay. Doing more.
You have to strike it, not follow it.
You caught one. Look at Marty, man. Alright, we are done with our trip and we are heading up the mountain to Kearsarge Pass. I don't know what to say. It was a really good trip. I was out of breath the whole time, but it was a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of cool stuff, meet interesting people. Some of whom were in an emergency situation, but hey. In regards to that emergency situation, there was a backpacker near us who started yelling out for help in the middle of the night. I guess she was shivering a lot and her muscles were cramping up. She actually wanted to have someone take her down the mountain or radio for help. We had to have her calm down and start drinking fluids with electrolytes. That seemed to calm her down, but nonetheless, she and her partner decided to leave a few hours later in the early morning and head up the pass and back down the mountain. And that was our little venture into the Sierra Nevadas. It was a pleasant excursion, and the scenery was breathtaking. Though the going was pretty tough, and I was out of breath the entire trip, I'd be happy to do it again and visit another Sierra Nevada lake system. But next time, we're going back to the desert. And we already have our sights on what is sure to be an epic backpacking trip filled with mining history and rarely seen wildlife. See you next time when we explore Trail Canyon and the Death Valley National Monument. I'm Andrew Perry. Let's try and keep it reasonable out there.
Hi guys, now a little tutorial about cutting fish, like gutting them, okay? First thing, have a sharp knife, not those stupid made in China stuff. Buy something made in USA or Germany, okay? Get, cut it here, and then cut all the way until it is the anal. And then what you do, you have to get a little bit messy, get all this gut out. Now once you take that out, here is one part that's like sticking to the mouth. It's really stiff. You gotta take all that out, put it through the way, and then after that, here comes the technical part. In this part, we have like a black line, okay, that has a lot of blood in it, and it's very yucky if you cook it, okay? So you gotta get rid of that and make sure that's gone. Okay, now the next thing is I'm gonna take the heads off, but if you don't take the heads off and you want to just have the head just to have it, you gotta get rid of those also. So get rid of those, and then make sure nothing from this black stuff is here. Okay, that's how you do it. And then look at that skin. We're gonna fry it today, and we're gonna keep the skin. I'm gonna cut the head over there later on, and then cut the tail, and then fry it. Okay. All right. Hope it helped.
Me and Kaveh are gonna Mickey Mouse some lunch using trout and trail mix. Can you explain?
Yeah, well, we forgot seasonings, so we don't have salt, we don't have pepper, we don't have onion powder, nothing. So basically I'm using the fat from peanuts, and I'm gonna use some of the cranberries with water, and I'm gonna use it as a paste for the trout that I cut in pieces. It was 3 trouts, large trouts that we have, so we're gonna put them later on in this and use it. After it boils, it will release the fat from the peanuts and pistachio and all these fatty kind of seeds. And then we're gonna put the is on top, trail mix on bottom. I don't know what's gonna be, but it's protein, and you know, the best we could do.
So how you digging it?
We're digging on some protein with my man Andrew, and unfortunately we don't have salt, we don't have garlic, we don't have onion, so we kind of a messed up situation. All we had was trail meal and this fish that we catch, and we just boil them all together, kind of mix up. I don't know, it might be tasting better later on, but
It's better than yesterday's, that's for sure. It is more flavor at least. Yesterday was just bland.
What's up, everybody? Hiking at night here in the desert. Whoa. What is that? It's a house.